What would be the absolute worst name you could give your child? Taserface. What was the second choice? Scrotum Hat? Scrotana. I went to high school with a girl named Cherish Precious Freedom. Last name. So I got a day that's the top of my list. I honestly don't think censoring their last name is going to stop someone recognizing this one. My brother and uncle are both named Richard Dick Hickey. I still don't see how Dick comes from Richard or vice versa. You ask him nicely. Gaylord Fokker. My old math teacher's name was Gaylord. He taught middle school. RIP. Let's be honest here, Gilbert. You really expect her to say Gilbert during sex? At least Gil isn't terrible. Epidemic. Coronavirus. Pandemic. COVID Hitler. Abracadabra. I worked for 12 years for the courts where traffic tickets were paid. Legit, a traffic ticket came across my desk with "This is the girl's first name." As luck would have it, a couple weeks later she came to my desk to pay it. I asked the last name, and when she replied with it, I knew instantly who it was. It was a really common last name, so I had to ask the first name in order to not be obvious. When I asked her first name, she sighed and put her head down and shyly and quietly said, "Abracadabra." There was a very attractive guy that had a great personality, but I had to stop talking to him because I could never date a male named Skeever. That's a terrible name for sure, but a rose by any other name with smell is sweet. Angry, Nord noises. WTF, that's like a rat's name. Genghis Adolf Pol Pot II. For your daughter. Or Carol Baskin Trump. Nevaeh. Worst fucking name in the universe. It's not cute. It's trailer park trash. There are 5 to 6 of them in my kid's school. I detest that name. Chlamydia. Syphilis. Phyllis is already a name you just gotta upgrade. Jack off. I went to school with a guy whose last name is Knopf. He married a girl whose first name is Jackie. You can do the math. Karen. Chad. I'll go with Stacy. Similar to the Chad meme. But mostly because if her mom is hot, she will never hear the end of it. Shit cunt McPissflaps. Lol, I'm gonna name my next animal that. Pedophilius. That sounds like a magic spell from D&D or something. I went to school with a girl named Anita Wong. Pretty unfortunate that younger brother's name was Harry. Well, in our language Anita is a phrase for blind ass or something like that, so I see this on a whole new level. ABCDE. I'm friends with a few teachers. One said she had a girl in class named Semage after her father. James. Stanley Yelnats. Calling your kid the sequel phrase that causes a table to be dropped so that when their name is put into a database it just deletes the table holding all the names. Ah yes, little Bobby tables. Baldrick. Or sawed-off Baldrick? Mr. S. Baldrick. I knew somebody whose surname is Lydia and they named their daughter Ray. This sounds fake. X. My cousin went to school with a kid named Assassin. Yes, it sounds cool in theory, but that poor kid. The teachers made him have a nickname. Did the kids just shorten it to Ass? Tangent. I went to high school with a kid whose last name was Asman and another kid whose last name was Fuchs. Pronounced with a hard U. Plaxico. Actual name of a former NFL player. I've always imagined mom giving birth and the doctor saying, "What are you naming him?" In a drug-induced state she looks up at her IV bag and reads the manufacturer's name. Yes, I always thought he was named after a mouthwash or something. Pubert. Alexa. Siri. Cortana. The B-Tech version of Alexa or Siri. A shame really, Cortana was a cool character. Google Assistant. Dick Hunter. Daddy's fucktoy. Boy or girl. Just trying to give your newborn that name is going to cause you issues. Delete this. Starting to be a little more grateful. Jaden. It forecasts a life of trailer parks, mullets and menthol cigarettes. Are really bad movies. JKMN. Pronounce Noel. No. L. Greater than pronounce Noel. No. I don't think it is. Apple. That's the name of Chris Martin from Coldplay's Kid. Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow's kid. Keith. I've known a few Keiths in my day and I have to agree with this one. Bandit. Looking back, Khaleesi was an unfortunate choice for new parents to make. Yes. We used to have a Khaleesi at our daycare center. I always wanted to ask her mother if she had regrets after the final season. Carl. Curl. Coral. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Lolfag. Dumb cunt John. Karen Equa. Karen Ini. UVV web webway on yet nevway ugwem ugwem osses. Merry Christmas. A friend knows someone who named their kid this because, you guessed it, she was born on Christmas Day. Anonymous. Dude, it's bad names for your child. I am anonymous. Fish. I don't know why I've met so many people who have known people with that name. Clitoris. Clitty. Richard aka Dick. What's wrong with that name? It's fine as long as it goes with a last name. Winking face. Everybody named Richard were usually hilarious though. Who doesn't like Dick? LaForche. By their order of birth, number 1, number 2, number 3. This was a thing in ancient Rome. And Secundus sounds kinda nice emo. Probably not a good first name. But I wouldn't mind if that was my middle name. Want to Trey. My brother was 7 at the time. But we asked him, what would you name your kid when you grow up? Quote. He responds with, Eggplant. My brother wanted to name his kid Eggplant. My second son wanted to name his then unborn sister Banicula. QWERTY. I knew a girl whose name was Taryn Hyman. There's a guy in the city I'm from whose legal name is Buster Hyman. I've always wondered if his parents named him that or he changed it. My second favorite name, I've seen Jimmy Balls. Don't know why, but whenever I see that come up in records I get a chuckle. I live in Germany and if you have the name Kevin, Adolf, Chantal, pronounce the Chantal, or Jacqueline here, people will most likely think that you're an idiot without knowing you. From my experience, Niemann in Deutschland heißt Adolf außer vielleicht der Kater von ein paar Skinheads. Ich kannte tatsächlich jemanden von meiner Schule der so heißt. Spricht Deutsch ihr Herrensohn. In der Tat. Child, just refer to it as child. North, Northwest. All of Kanye and Kim's kids were just born to get their parents more attention. Their accessories. Mike Ockerts. Genital Fisher. Smitty. He would be so disappointed that he could never be number 1. I'm naming my kid that after Sme7Y. Penis Milk. Number 16 Bus Shelter. Naming your kid after where you met the hooker. Classy. Donald. Daffy. Jackson. Dandruff. No name. Imagine trying go apply for anything. Adolf. Titler. Weed. Ouija Keto Cake. Carol Baskin. Group Sex. Pisswasser. Nivea Skywalker. I met a guy named Anakin, his brothers Luke and Han and his sister Leia. Link Neo. Good Mythical Morning. Named his youngest son Lando. Yes, after that Lando. Zine Figure. Cool wow D&D character name? Yep. Cool real life name? Nope. Also on the same list. Cladlash. Repanna. Flurf. Dr. Yeet. Alcina. Gur Welsh. Edit. Commas. Fuck, I was gonna name my kid Dr. Yeet. I know a guy who gave his new son the middle name Dracula, so there's that. Was this guy's name Jesse by any chance? Nope. Dick Strong. No, let's see how many people get it. Karen Cooch Cunt. It's even worse because the initials are KKK. Hash, but nickname them £. In Norway it would have been Vidkun, except it's illegal. Ingeborg is the best Norwegian name. Illegal? Source? Well, he was the traitor that sold us out at the start of WW2. So it's similar to calling your kid Hitler. If you meet someone called Ronnie, you know they're criminal. IDK, probably some sort of racial slur. I was thinking of naming a future daughter of mine CD, but someone said it would be weird because it sounds like CD is in the player. I immediately think of the word CD, which makes it worse than CD emo. But it wouldn't matter now, as no one will know what those are in 10 years. How about Davy D? placenta, tequila, Hennessy, Bacardi. Just don't name your child after any alcoholic beverages. Margarita. Know of a girl that named her daughters Elise and Mickey, as in Mickey's malt liquor and the liquor called Elise. She doesn't even know the fathers. Poor kids. Peter, File, Skylar, Cuthbert. If your second name was Fisher, Anal, Cthulhu, Allsparks, Street Lamp, Lemus, Clitol, Fernand, Testicles, Fish and Chips, Twins, YOLO and Yeet. Aside from obvious ones like Hitler, were some pop culture names that'll age badly, like Khaleesi or something like that. I think currently Karen would be pretty bad. Hitler is a family name, by the way. I'm aware. I'm Austrian. Was just an example cause I remember someone naming their kid Hitler as a middle name. Sorry Digga, isn't that illegal? I used to know a girl named Karen. She was really nice. I met her in a performing arts class, and she sang a song she wrote. Shrek. It's bad names, not good names. Michael Hunt, nickname Mike. Molester. It's bad because he will be a child molester then. Dickling. Kalesi. Cthulhu, Allspark, Dasani, Evian, Aquafina, Deer Park. Dick. Any parent that names their kid Dick doesn't deserve kids. Common names with alternative spelling to make it unique. Example. Emily to Emily. You have sentenced your child to having to spell out their name for the rest of their lives. Emily is a fairly common variant though. More like Kirstel for Crystal. Yes, there was a post on IATA with a poster that had that unfortunate name. Clarence always seemed like such a serial killer name. Abradorf Linkler. He will emancipate you from your inferior genetics. I know a guy who named his son Nova Science. Met a woman named La Princess at work. So, that. There was a girl named Zyvagroza, which translates to living horror, in my elementary school. Parents must be nice. Jiko. It's Japanese for accident. I saw a picture of a couple who named their daughter Arrow. That's porn in Japanese. Oof. Add an S, you get the Greek god of love, or Cupid, so I guess that's fitting. Crystal Beth. My grandpa's last name is Woodcock. Can you guess his first name? Richard. Dick Woodcock. Donald Trump Jr. Female, pronounced Feh Mali-E. Mother thought the name Wad chosen for her on the birth certificate. That's a well-known urban myth. And it is an awful name to give your child then. Are we really not sick of this exact question yet? Chad. Vagina. Someone actually named their son Vagina. They didn't. Oh, was it a fake article? It was a satire headline, not an article. Thanks for telling me. Crystal Metheny. Mark. Sorry, that's Dickie Dickinson. I know someone who named their daughter Erotica. Regina. Basshole. Northwest. Karen. Corona. Any common name spelt like a kindergartner is trying to phonetically spell it. Or someone was given a bunch of random Scrabble letters and they had to make a common name out of it. Naming your kid something dumb like Cherish, Precious, Freedom and Taserface is awful, sure. But can you imagine being a Jessica but constantly have to tell people, but it's spelt Jessykah? I went to school with a Kimberly. That is fucking stupid. And there was a poor girl who posted on the subreddit "Am I the asshole" the other day whose name was Kirstel, pronounced Crystal. Now that is the worst. Saw it on FB. Merry Christmas. Dick Trickle. COVID. Knew a kid named Gaylord in 6th grade. Yep, one of worst names in existence. I went to school with a guy named Patrick Ness who had a twin brother named Lucas. They both played basketball and their jerseys said P. Nessinal Ness. Poor P. Ness never lived that down. Hunter. Come to think of it, where did all those kids go who were named that? Saw a fair share of them in elementary school but haven't seen any since. Smegma. Caressa Dick. Chlamydia. I remember reading on Twitter that a married couple whose last name was Ingoff wanted name suggestions for their newborn son. And the most like name suggested was Jack. So there probably a kid out there named Jack Ingoff. Knew a girl named me Angel in elementary school. Also, in the same elementary school. Epiphany Sunshine. Coronavirus. Probably goes to the fella named Thor Uranus on my delivery route. Donald. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.